Back to winning ways today, Neil. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought for the most part we were good. Just about trying to get back to where we were. We've had a lot of confidence issues. I think losing a few games of football. That we look into it a little bit too much in terms of other teams have had their blips earlier on in the season. We've had ours now, which has coincided with a lot of change. And when you have the amount of defensive changes that we've made in the last 6-9 months, at some stage it's going to come and hit you. But lads are stuck together. I made up for the players, because we have been soul searching a little bit. 3 defeats out of 4 was it? Yeah, and not scored many goals. We've done a lot of work on Thursday night in terms of shape. They've carried that out today. Made up for the players, because they took a little bit of. We've all took a little bit of stick, and I'm big enough and daft enough to accept it, which is part and parcel of the game. I'm just made up for them, as I say, to get the win.
3 of the goals came from corners today. How much do you work on them in training?
We don't work a lot on them. We probably don't work enough on them, if I'm honest. And if you go back, probably the last 3 games we've lost out of the 4, our set pieces have been very poor. Warrington Rylands sticks in my head in particular. So, we just talked to them about making sure we put it in good areas. We talked to the lads in the middle of the pitch who are attacking it. We need more movement. I think we got a little bit lethargic, a little bit lackadaisy in there. But overall, we've scored from set pieces. We've scored 4 goals, and we've limited the mistakes, because that's been our big problem. Mistakes, which has been brought on by losing confidence, and that's what happens in football at all levels.
Danny Shaw went off at half time today. Is he okay, or was it just a tactical?
No, his back stiffened up after about 35 minutes. And we got to half time and he basically couldn't move. So Connor has done really well for us. Tough decision to leave him out, but he couldn't train Thursday. And as I said earlier, we've done a lot of work on Thursday in terms of how we were going to play today. And it would have been unfair to throw a lad in that hadn't been there.
Joe White came on today to make his debut. How did that move go down?
So Joe's someone we've been looking at for a few weeks. Everyone knows we've been looking for the left back for a long time. We've spoken to about 6 or 7. We haven't been able to get any over the line for one reason or another. Joe was someone that was identified 3 or 4 weeks ago. We spoke to a few people about Joe, and me and Alan watched 2 games, Stafford and Atherton I think it was, and he'd done well in them games. We were made aware that he was potentially leaving FC United. We spoke to him. There was other clubs in at the time. We were hoping to get it done Tuesday, but there was other clubs came in for him. But thankfully on Wednesday afternoon, I think it was, he called me to say that he chose Marine and he was really looking forward to coming to the club.
And just to finish, next week City of Liverpool, what do you expect from them?
Another tough game. They're always tough games against City of Liverpool. Elo's doing a great job there. I think they're a bit like us from when I speak to them. It's about continuity. They've got a lot of changes, a lot of injuries, to and fro, and it's not easy, particularly when you're trying to win leagues and win football matches if you haven't got that continuity. You know what I mean? But yeah, it'll be a tough game. But I'm going to enjoy today because I've had a rough 20 odd days, I think, in terms of results. But all the credit goes to the players today, because they're the ones who, had to go out and perform at home, and they've done that.